Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we have a real thriller for you. I know we're not talking about some Hollywood movie. We're actually going to be diving deep into the world of real estate crimes, and we're going to be exposing cunning criminals and letting you know how you can protect yourself from becoming a victim. Our first case takes us to sunny Broward County, Florida, where a cunning real estate scheme left our unsuspecting victim with empty pockets. It all started innocently in a hair salon of all places. This victim actually worked in the hair salon and she said, I want to get started in real estate investing. There was a guy there, his name is Dematov, and he said, oh, I can totally get you into investing in real estate. He promised to hook her up with a friend of his that was into the real estate market and would help to see this property that was in the foreclosure process, and told her they'll help her file the paperwork. So $45,000 get awarded the property. The victim gave them $10,000 upfront to get this whole process started. They had her sign what is called a lis pendens. A lis pendens is a court filing. Basically, it's letting you know that there's a court proceeding happening soon. It's kind of like a notice to the world that something's going on with this property and is gonna probably go into court. So here's where it gets interesting. Although the victim only signed the lis pendens, when you look at the court records, there's actually a number of documents that also were filed with the lis pendens that were fraudulently filed with the victim's signature. One of them was a complaint of quiet title, a notice of voluntary dismissal and release of lis pendens, plaintiff's change of designation of address and email. So here's what they did. They filed these documents. They knew that Deutsche Bank was starting foreclosure process on this property. The plaintiff's change of designation of address document changing the address of Deutsche Bank so that when Deutsche Bank got served this notice of lis pendens, it wasn't actually going to the bank, it was going to one of these guys' houses. Because of COVID and a lot of people working from home, this kind of wasn't like a big red alert. Like obviously the server knew that this wasn't the bank's address, but they thought that the representative of the bank was living there and they were signing remotely because of COVID and everybody working remotely. Typically speaking, if this would have happened and you were the owner of the property, you would have gotten served stating, hey, this person is stating that the house belongs to them and this is the whole complaint as to why. And then you have to either show up in court to fight that or file a motion against it. Well, since Deutsche Bank was not receiving the actual notification of this happening, somebody else was, they thought that they would be able to get the property based on the fact that they didn't represent themselves in court. After months of waiting, though, this victim kept asking, what's happening with this? Where's the file documents? And mind you, this victim did not know that what they were doing was illegal. They presented it to her as this is a legal way to acquire property that's in foreclosure. So she was unsuspecting. She did not know. These people behind it were all master criminals. They all had criminal records, and that's how they were able to think up this scheme. In this particular case, they weren't able to be successful because while they were doing all of these documentation and paperwork, Deutsche Bank, which actually was the legal owner of the property, actually sold the property to somebody else. And the paperwork crossed when that happened, and the legitimate buyer of the property were able to get their property. However, this victim was out $10,000. Luckily enough, this victim was smart enough to take a picture of the money that she paid them with the lis pendens that she signed as a background. So she had evidence of paying them money for this document. She was able to file a complaint against these people based on the fact that she had all of this documentation. And apparently, there's been countless cases that this ring of people were doing where they did a similar thing, basically tricking someone into purchasing a property that they didn't actually own and telling them that they can help them get the paperwork ready. Or they were falsifying the documentation and then renting the property out to other tenants and making themselves look like they were the actual owners of the property, collecting the rent, and the house was actually still in foreclosure and continuing on through that foreclosure process. Foreclosures were not the only properties that these criminals were targeting. They were also targeting the deceased owner or that were in disrepair and were abandoned. And they were putting like minimal effort in there just to rent it out to have the security deposit, pay their rent, and then later on be evicted by the bank or the actual correct owner. So now that we've dissected that Broward County case, let's talk a little bit about how you can shield yourself to be a victim. And guess what? It's not only happening in Florida. Here in New Jersey, DJ Envy promoted a real estate investment venture that victims are now calling a scheme. They invested huge sums of money expecting profits and never saw a dime. Real estate schemes come in all kinds of forms, from escrow wire fraud to loan flipping and predatory lenders. To protect yourself, follow these guidelines. First, always verify wiring instructions with your lender directly. Never send money online without confirmation. For loan flipping, involve trusted relatives or friends in financial discussions, especially mortgage-related decisions. Avoid foreclosure relief scams by working with your lender directly and seeking help from HUD-certified services. And just as a disclaimer here, one of the ways that you can know if a foreclosure aid is a scam is if they ask you for money up front. I, as a real estate agent, have helped many people in distressed situations avoid foreclosure, short sale their property, and I've never once asked them to give me a single penny until the property closes. And most of the time when it is a property that's in distress, the bank, the lender will actually pay the real estate commission. So you should never come out of pocket paying anyone to help you with any of these situations. Fake rental listings, check with property appraiser websites, get everything in writing, and insist on meeting the owners before making any kinds of deposits or payments. I just recently heard from a client that they've contacted a moving company that came to their property, gave them a quote, and when they came to actually pack the property, the quote went up by like $10,000. Then they told her that they could only take cash. That is a red flag alert. Always, always get everything in writing. I'm not saying that it's impossible for movers to come, taking a little bit more space than they originally estimated and for the price to go up a little bit. But if the price goes up by like 50%, that smells, looks, and sounds like a scam. Always look out for lack of proper documentation. For anyone that is leasing you a property, I would talk to a real estate agent or talk to a real estate attorney or go into property records for your state and make sure that the person that is renting the property to you is actually the owner or a representative of the owner. They should be able to give you documentation that's going to prove that they're representing the person that's the owner of the property. Whenever someone pressures you to act immediately, it's always a red flag. Most professionals know that real estate matters are a big investment and it's going to take you time to consider your move and make sure that that's the right thing for you. Whenever somebody pressures you or tells you that this is a limited time option, be wary of those things. If someone is giving you an unrealistic guarantee, for example, your house is going to sell in 24 hours for this price. Listen, no one can give you that kind of guarantee unless they're buying it themselves. For as confident as I am in a market analysis that I do for your property, there is absolutely no way to 100% foretell what a buyer is going to decide that your home is worth. And there's no way that I can tell you with certainty that you're going to sell this property tomorrow for this amount of money. 9 times out of 10, I'm right and my market analysis is correct, but I will never guarantee that because I am giving you false expectations. So there you have it. We've delved into the real estate crimes, dissecting the shocking case in Broward County, and giving you the tools that you need to protect yourself from scams like these. Do your due diligence and never rush into any deals. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss an update. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there in the world of real estate. There's so many scams out there. If you ever have a feeling that something is not right, talk to a trusted real estate professional and we should be able to help you along the process. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm Louisa Cruz of Prosperity Real Estate of Keller Williams.